Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chrisley thanks fans who support Todd and Julie's appeal. Chrisley knows best alum. Chrisley thanked loyal fans who supported Todd and Julie's oral arguments appeal in Atlanta on April 19. His sister, Savannah, had appealed to people to attend the hearing, and as it was a public appeal, some fans did show up. Savannah, Grayson, Chase, and Nanny Faye were also present. What did Chase have to say to fans? Keep reading to find out more. Chrisley and his siblings pin hopes on the appeal. On the Unlocked podcast, Alex Little, the attorney, explained that the appeal was a step in the right direction. In his opinion, their trial was unfairly run, and he talked about two key pieces of evidence that might have affected the outcome of the jury's guilty verdict. He also mentioned that only a small fraction of cases get the green light for oral hearings. On April 19, he got his chance to lay his objections before the appellate court. Chrisley and his siblings obviously hoped that what went down will at least shorten their parents' incarceration. The legal proceedings were carried out without Todd and Julie being present. Mostly, Alex Little raised the issue of misconduct, claiming that the prosecutors worked in concert with an IRS witness. Chrisley knows best fans get a thank you, while Savannah works hard to raise awareness of bad prison conditions. She also gives feedback on the legal side of things. Ahead of the oral arguments, the Chrisley knows best alum revealed that she feared bad outcome. Still, she thinks there are other avenues that the lawyers can pursue to get a reduced sentence or retrial. But at the moment, it seems that there might be a wait before they hear the outcome. Chrisley took to his Instagram stories after the hearing, and he thanked the fans who gave so much support. He said, "Of course, there are no public comments on stories, but probably many people sent in their thoughts and prayers." Chase helps to share some of his sister's prison condition notes, and he also visits his dad quite often. Fans seem pleased that he also spends time with Nanny Faye. She's not a spring chicken anymore, and supporters fear that she might pass away before her son leaves prison. Chrisley sat in his Nashville home, the walls adorned with family photos and mementos from the past decade. A black and white image of his parents, Todd and Julie, from their early days of Chrisley knows best, hung prominently over the mantel. That photo felt like a portal to simpler times when life was a swirl of family pranks, Southern charm, and Todd's signature one-liners. Now life was anything but simple. Todd and Julie, his rock-solid parents, were serving sentences for their convictions on tax evasion and fraud. While the Chrisley family was no stranger to drama, this chapter was different. The weight of it pressed heavily on Chase's shoulders. Yet, through the storm, there was a beacon of hope, a dedicated fanbase that continued to rally around the Chrisleys, standing firm in their belief in Todd and Julie's innocence. Chase took a deep breath as he set up his phone to record Instagram Live. He wanted to address the fans directly, a raw, heartfelt moment to express his gratitude. His hands trembled slightly as he hit the Go Live button, but he masked his nerves with a confident smile. "Hey guys," he began, his southern drawl soothing and familiar. "It's Chase here. I just wanted to hop on and say a few things that have been on my heart." Comments started flooding in almost instantly. Messages like "We love y'all, Chase," and "Praying for your family" scrolled up the screen. The support was overwhelming, and it bolstered his resolve to keep going. "I know this past year hasn't been easy for anyone in my family," Chase continued, "but through it all, I've been blown away by the love and support from y'all. Seeing your messages, your prayers, and the way you believe in my mom and dad, it means the world to us. And I just want to say thank you." He paused, looking away briefly as he gathered his thoughts. The comments kept pouring in, a mix of virtual hugs, heart emojis, and affirmations. "Listen," Chase said, his voice taking on a more serious tone. "We know this fight isn't over. Mom and Dad are strong. They've always been fighters, and I have faith in God and in the system that the truth will come out. But what gives me even more hope is knowing we have you guys in our corner. Your letters, your social media posts, your prayers, they've made such a difference. Not just to us as a family, but to my mom and dad. They see that, they feel that, and they're so grateful." Chase could picture his parents watching the video later. Todd, ever the perfectionist, would probably have some commentary about the lighting or Chase's choice of words. Julie, on the other hand, would beam with pride, insisting that Chase's sincerity was all that mattered. "Let me share something personal with y'all," Chase continued, leaning closer to the camera. "I talk to my mom and dad as often as I can, and every time we talk, they tell me to pass along their love and thanks to you. They've been through so much, but they are staying strong because of their faith. And because of you guys, they know they're not alone. He exhaled deeply, letting the emotion settle. But I also want to be real with y'all, he added. It's been hard, really hard. There are days when I don't feel like getting out of bed, days when the weight of it all feels too much. But then I see your comments. I hear your stories about how my family has touched your lives. And it reminds me that we are all in this together. We're fighting not just for my mom and dad, but for what's right. The comment section exploded with encouragement. Messages like "Keep the faith, Chase," and "We've got your back" brought a smile to his face. Chase took a sip of water, glancing at the clock. He didn't want the live to run too long. But he wasn't done yet. There was one more thing he needed to say. I also want to ask y'all for something. I want you to keep praying for us. But also, pray for the people involved in this case, the judges, the lawyers, everyone. Pray for wisdom, for justice, and for hearts to be open to the truth. That's what my mom and dad would want. They've taught me that no matter what we're going through, we've got to show grace and love even when it's hard. His voice cracked slightly, and he took a moment to compose himself. And I know they'd want me to tell y'all to keep being kind to one another, he added. Because at the end of the day, kindness is what makes the world a better place. Chase smiled softly, his emotions visible but contained. I'll wrap this up. But before I go, I just want to say one more time thank you. Thank you for believing in my parents, for standing by us, and for being the incredible community that you are. We feel your love every single day, and we don't take it for granted. Y'all are family to us. As he ended the live, Chase felt a wave of relief. He had said what he needed to say, and he hoped it would resonate with those who had been so loyal to the Chrisley family. The next day, his words had already made headlines. Articles with titles like "Chase Chrisley Breaks Silence." Thanks fans for support spread across social media, amplifying his message. But more importantly, Chase saw a flood of new comments, emails, and messages from fans sharing their own stories of perseverance and faith. One letter stood out to him, a handwritten note from a woman in Texas who had been a fan of the show since the beginning. She wrote about how Todd and Julie's story had inspired her to fight her own battles with grace and resilience. You're not alone, the letter concluded. We're all in this together. Chase folded the letter carefully and placed it in a drawer where he kept other keepsakes from fans. It was a reminder that even in the darkest times, light could be found in connection, faith, and the unwavering support of a community that refused to give up.